Aston Villa is cooking again in 2024-25. With huge January signings, a monumental push in the Champions League, and a squad full of underrated ballers, Villa have all the ingredients to elevate themselves into one of the best clubs in Europe. But can they actually make the dream come through? Can they turn from a dark horse into a genuine Premier League and European powerhouse? Let's find out. First, we have to start with the mastermind himself, Unai Emery. When he arrived at Villa Park in October 2022, the Birmingham side were stuck in mid-table mediocrity. They were struggling with an inexperienced manager in Steven Gerrard and were unable to challenge for a place in the top six. Fast forward to the present day, just 2.5 years later, well, they are in the knockout stages of the Champions League and challenging for European football in the Premier League. And this is no fluke. This is tactical brilliance at its finest. Emery has done what only a few other managers have achieved at Villa. He has built a system that makes them both defensively solid and deadly in attack. If we dig a little deeper, Emery has indeed become a legend at Villa, as much as you may not believe it. Realistically, there is only one manager in the 21st century who can compete with Unai Emery, and that is Martin O'Neill, who was in charge between 2006 and 2010. Under his management, Villa finished in the top six in 3 consecutive seasons, but never played in the Champions League, let alone finish in the top 8 and play in the knockout stages. And this is certainly Unai Emery's best achievement at Villa Park so far. The team has gone toe-to-toe with some of the best in Europe and come out on top without even hesitating. Just ask Bayern Munich, who couldn't cope with Villa's intensity when they won 1-0 in the group stage. They went on to draw 0-0 with Juventus, beat Leipzig 3-2, and a month or so later produced one of Emery's best attacking displays in the games of the season to beat Scottish champions Celtic 4-2. Imagine if someone had said to you 3 years ago, Aston Villa won't lose to Bayern Munich, Juventus, Bologna, Leipzig and Celtic in a single Champions League campaign, and will qualify in the top 8 from the group stage. Absolute cinema, isn't it? But in order to achieve this astonishing level of quality, Villa had to invest heavily in transfers. It started with key signings such as Emery's favourite centre-back from his Villarreal days, Pau Torres. The player-manager duo spent 2 seasons together at the Yellow Submarine between 2020 and 2022, when they reached the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in the club's history. Pau Torres' qualities made a deep impression on Emery, who was determined to bring him to Villa Park. The move came in the summer of 2023, when the Villains snatched him up for just over €30 million, a bargain at the time given Torres' physique and his ball-playing ability. Interestingly, however, Torres wasn't the only bargain Villa made. Over the last 2 years, Villa have been on an astonishing run of business, making deals that would make even the biggest clubs jealous. In the same transfer window as Pau Torres, Villa signed Youri Tielemans from Leicester on a free transfer, and only a year later they received over $50 million from Juventus for a player with the same profile, Douglas Luiz. Yes, the Brazilian was a key player for Villa during his time there, but it's clear that Tielemans has better qualities. And on top of that, Villa got a better player in the whole deal, and €50 million on top of that. In January 2024, Villa paid around $10 million for a player the average fan hadn't heard of, Middlesbrough's Morgan Rogers. Well, he quickly proved his worth, scoring 4 goals by the end of the 2023-24 season, and then getting into the zone with 10 goals and 5 assists since the start of this season, including a hat-trick of historic importance against Celtic, plus a goal and assist against Man City, a goal against Tottenham and a goal against Chelsea. All in all, Rodgers is now an undisputed star in this Aston Villa team. However, the blockbuster transfer of recent seasons that has brought the team immense financial value has been the departure of Jean Duran. The Colombian talent was signed from Chicago Fire in January 2023 for €30 million and has just been sold to Saudi Arabia's Al Nassr for almost $77 million, making a profit of more than 100% in transfer fees. And all those deals don't even come close to the ones Aston Villa made in January 2025. Let's start with the departures. Cameron Archer to Southampton for €17.5 million, Jadon Philogene to Ipswich Town for €23.7 million, Diego Carlos to Fenerbahce for €10 million, and of course the aforementioned Duran to Al Nassr for €77 million. All this has made Villa around €130 million. What they got in return? Just hold on and listen. Striker Donyell Malen from Borussia Dortmund for €25 million, right back Andre Garcia from Levante for €7 million, defender Axel Disasi on loan from Chelsea, and top deals Marcus Rashford and Marco Asensio on loan from Manchester United and PSG respectively. I don't know about you, but it's crazy just to think about it. Even taking into account the fact that both Rashford and Asensio are well past their primes, it's really impressive how Villa have managed to bring them in. I mean, right now Villa have the chance to revive Rashford's career and then buy him for £40 million in the summer, as Villa and Man United have a buyout option in his contract with the Birmingham side. That is unreal business from the villains and the sporting director Monchi in particular, who has built a reputation as one of the best negotiators in European football in the last 2 decades. He's known from being a goalkeeper during his playing days, but after his retirement, he helped Sevilla discover some amazing talent, including Jesus Navas, Antonio Puerta, Sergio Ramos and Jose Antonio Reyes, as well as picking up a number of valuable bargains such as Adriano, Dani Alves, Seydou Keita and Ivan Rakitic. All of these players played for Sevilla and went on to have fantastic careers in Barcelona and abroad. By the way, if you've enjoyed the video so far, subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our uploads in the future. What's important to note though is that Aston Villa didn't just buy players in January, they did it with a purpose, addressing every weakness in their squad to perfection. Yes, it's obvious that Rashford has struggled at Man United since the start of the Ruben Amorim era, but he's now on a mission, bigger than any in his career so far. He has never been in a worse position and has about 6 months to remind the world who he really is. He will be expected to play a crucial role against teams that leave more space at the back. His pace and finishing make him a perfect fit in that department, especially with the likes of Tielemans and Boubacar Kamara behind him. As for Marco Asensio, he was a surprise transfer and he will really bring that Champions League mentality to the team. I mean, you don't often see a 3-time winner of the Champions League at Villa Park. He'll probably play a big role against low-block oppositions, most likely in the Premier League. Next in line is Donyell Malen, a pace merchant, a dribbling menace, a goal-scoring machine. Yes, the Dutchman ticks all the boxes. The former Borussia Dortmund player adds depth and versatility up front. His direct running and finishing ability will give Emery an entirely new option in attack, one that is very different to the starting number 9, Ollie Watkins. And finally, Axel Disasi. The situation here is fairly straightforward. The Frenchman has been brought in as a direct replacement for Diego Carlos. The two have exactly the same profile, with Disasi probably a little better with the ball at his feet. But with all that being analysed, there is one more thing to focus on: Unai Emery's tactical setup. For much of Emery's time at Villa Park, it has been assumed that he has maintained a counter-attacking style of play. Well, think again. From his first day in Birmingham, Emery built a tactical machine designed to frustrate big teams and dominate against weaker opposition, something he never managed to do at Arsenal. But as the wise say, if you fail once, try again until you get it perfect. And that's exactly what Emery intends to do. Going through Aston Villa's tactics step by step, one of the most important details is the high press and aggressive midfield. Boubacar Kamara and Amadou Onana have been instrumental in this. Admittedly, there have been a few games in which the two played together, as the Belgian has suffered a number of injuries this season. However, Kamara has done a fabulous job in his absence, working hand in hand with Yuri Tielemans. Add Asensio's vision to the mix and you have a fully functioning and versatile midfield. Ingredient number 2 are the quick transitions from defence to attack. When Villa win the ball back, they explode forward. Watkins, Leon Bailey and Morgan Rogers are the usual suspects, running into space and waiting for a long ball. Well, from now until the end of the season, imagine Rashford in that role as well as Donyell Malen, who is also extremely quick. And then there is Emery's last tactical speciality, the key to their performance, defensive solidity with a high line. Well, to play a high line, like Hansi Flick's Barcelona for example, who have made a name for themselves this season, you have to use quick centre-backs. That is the one and only essential. Well, Emery has taken care of that, building the defence the way he likes it, with quick, solid ball-playing centre-backs like Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres and now Axel Disasi. With all that being said, we certainly can conclude that Villa is no longer just an underdog, they are a genuine force, capable of beating even the best teams in Europe. It has been a long 2.5 years at Villa Park for Unai Emery, but nothing ends here because, who knows, Aston Villa could actually turn into a Premier League title contender if they continue developing at that same velocity. But now we want to hear from you. How far do you think Aston Villa can go this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, or if you want to learn more about the GOAT, Anthony, just click our latest upload. Catch you there.